Okay, we're still making the middle sword now. Now you can see I've got both my pieces cut out. Well, not really flimsy yet, but obviously. I've got both my sides cut out. These will lay right along in here. Now what I'm gonna do, I could cheat and just put these on here, both sides, glue them together, give it the edges, and then paint on the silver edge here. But I want to be a bit more accurate. So what I'm gonna do is I've cut out, you see white on white on white, is I've cut out these columns of plastic, and I'm gonna glue these on here to form the V. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm trying to explain this better. So it'll be the V of the sword here. And then since I have the V, those will be attached to the magnets, so that'll stick to the sword. And I'm going to take this and give it a straight out. So it'll be the V and then straight out, almost like a shape of an M, I guess you would call it. And then that'll stick right on there, and then I'll take the actual edge of the blade and I'll put that on this here. So it'll be edge. Once I put it all together, you'll see what I mean. It's all up in my head right now, but that's what I'm gonna do right now. So those will go on there, both sides, and then these straight out. Okay, make sure we got that right. Okay, as I was explaining, back up, this is gonna be the main V. Let me get this showed to you. You can see, there's that, there. This is going to be the V. Obviously this is going to be tighter to it because the magnets are going to pull it to it. And now, like I was saying, this is going to go straight up from that. So it would shape like pretty much like an M. And then you'll have the actual edge of the blade where I'm moving my finger here, right up in here. So I just wanted to show you that to you. Okay, since we put this V on here, since we do have this little lip here, it's going to make this V a little off-center, so it actually travels downhill, obviously. So what you're going to have to do is actually trim the bottom of this so it's still even on the bottom, but it's going to be slanted on top. So you know. The reason we need it even on the bottom is obviously so the sword on top is level. Yeah. Okay, making sure you guys know that. Okay, we got one side glued on to the second blade. I glued it on to the V. I tried to glue it up as straight up as possible so it's going to be flat with the sword. You see I didn't do a very good job, but this is pretty movable right now, and when I put in the actual point of the blade, I'm going to adjust it out to what I need it to be. Now I'm going to take this and glue this side on, so then we'll have that done, and then we need to make the actual V, or the actual tip of the blade. So okay, next step we're going to do is we're going to glue on this strip here to this to create our edge. And what I've done is cut an inch thick strip of plastic, the length of the blade, and that piece of metal that we used before to bend, I'm using almost the exact same, actually it is the exact same one, I found it back. Imagine that. I actually should have done this before, but I wasn't thinking clearly, but it happens. So I'm just going to lay this down. Open this up a little bit, get my hand in there, give it the right angle, and glue it all the way down. Flip it around, do it both sides. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, we got the edges glued on, all except for this one because I accidentally messed up. But I've got all those glued on, as you can see. The next thing I'm doing is, well, if you're following me, this was just a piece of plastic from the V. So I just cut that out. We're going to glue these two together now. Glue those together so that's a solid piece. I have to fix that. I'm still working on the handle. This has got to be cut out yet. And then we still have to put our magnets in. I have to figure out the whole handle because, as you can see, this is not going to hold up the sword very well. But that's what we're doing right now. So, okay, where we were last, I was trying to figure out, well, I was putting the edge on, and the only thing I can come up with to reinforce the handle is, you can see over here that I've got a small chunk of plywood that's just laying there, and I think I'm just going to take a chunk of that and cut it along here, cut it so it curves down, and I'm going to make it go probably, I doubt it all the way up, but it's somewhere up in here. and it's still open. I'm going to put my magnets on the inside here along with the wood. I'm just hoping that all these magnets are going to be strong enough to pull it and keep it up there without it falling off. So that's what I'm going to do there. Then we've got to glue this back together. You also have to keep in mind that I'm just going to call it the butterfly sword for right now. I don't know. The sword that the handle folds up into. Dig through my plans. This sword here, the handle folds up and this folds in. You have to think that this sword has to attach to this sword as well. So you also have to put the magnets to hold that sword on, along with the magnets to hold this sword to this main sword. So we have to put those in there yet, at least on one side. I'm not sure which side yet, but one side. Because the other side, well, yeah, I guess both. Okay, maybe both sides. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Maybe both sides. So we're going to do that now. Let me get this piece of plywood cut out. Let me get the magnets in and I'll show you what I got. Okay, we just got, as you can see on the inside of here, the wood brace is cut out. If I peel this back a little bit, you can see the wood brace goes down to somewhere about where I said before, down to somewhere around in here. Yeah. What I'm doing now is putting the magnets in. Now what I'm doing to put the magnets in is a little bit different than the other one. What I have to do is I put the magnets on the outside here, so I know where they're at from the inside of the sword. And I'm putting a little bit of hot glue on each magnet. Now I'm going to quickly take this and put it over top. So the magnets will be glued on the inside of the sword. But then, it's pretty simple actually. So they're glued to the inside. I'm taking, where'd they go? There we go. I'm taking some more magnets, and I'll open up the sword and I'll run them along the inside until they find the magnets on the outside. And then it'll snap into place. And then I've got the magnets on the inside of the sword. I'll glue them into place on the inside and I'll take the ones on the outside off. And there you go. Magnets on the inside of the sword in the exact same spot as they do on this one to line up. And it works out really well. Got one side done already. I'm about to do the other side. So then we'll be pretty much done with this sword here. All we have to do is glue it together, put on this blade, this edge here, and make the round piece for it. I have decided not to put the little curve, it curves up into a point here. I've decided not to do that just for the reason being is when I put this on my sword, that is just perfectly, almost perfectly flush with my sword here. If I put that curve onto it, I've got to modify my whole hilt, I've got to move this up, the magnets won't line up, it's just going to be a big pain in the ass. So the sword's not exact, and to me, it's okay. For what we've got here, I think I'm doing pretty good for not knowing what I'm doing here. So, okay. So now you know what I'm doing here, and let's get these magnets put on. Okay, I just put my magnets in. I'll open this up and show you. You can see they're just taped in there right now. I haven't quite glued them in there yet. But I have to glue this edge together. Like I said, I still have to make this edge here and then make this edge here. But I'm going to quickly try to show you with one hand here that all my magnets are working. And I mean, I can flip this around. I mean, I'm trying not to hurt myself while doing this, but I mean, that's on there pretty good. That's not going anywhere. I mean, I'm really happy about that. And you can see it's starting to come together quite nicely. I'm going to put this down because that's heavy. This is not, oh, that's going to be a heavy sword. That's alright though, I just wanted to show you that. So now we're going to glue in our magnets with, oh, I forgot this edge. Well, that's fine, I could put that edge on there. Glue this together, glue in my magnets, finish this up. Yep, okay, and that's that. Sorry for cutting out there real quick last time. I just had a mini panic. I was looking on, that's the wrong one, but that's one I found. Where's that? I was freaking out here because on this one, the actual blade of the sword goes right along in here, so the handle is actually curved. So that's what you hold on to. That's just right on the edge of the blade. On mine, the handle goes way down here. This is my handle, so I can't make that curve over like I was supposed to. And I noticed that when I put that on there, and I was freaking out because I thought I screwed up my entire sword.